President Trump is moving on without his one-time advisor Elon Musk after the explosive fallout between the two men. In a blitz of comments to US media, Mr. Trump says he isn't interested in making up with the tech billionaire in the wake of their extraordinary online feud. Mr. Musk was once an enthusiastic backer of the president, but in the past week, since leaving his job at the White House, he began voicing opposition to Mr. Trump's flagship budget bill, which is making its way through Congress. Mr. Trump now suggests he may cancel government contracts and subsidies with Elon Musk, news that wiped billions off the share price of his company, Tesla. Our North America editor, Sarah Smith, reports.
This could be the internet's favourite breakup, spawning jokes and memes around the globe, pitting the world's richest man against arguably the world's most powerful. There were early signs that Musk might want to make up. When Trump-supporting billionaire Bill Ackman posted, "I support Donald Trump and Elon Musk and they should make peace for the benefit of our great country. We are much stronger together than apart," Musk replied, "You're not wrong." But is Donald Trump ready to forgive? Forget it. The public battle seems to have paused. Leaving the White House for the weekend, Donald Trump had no comment. But he is still complaining about Musk in private, saying it's his drug taking that's making him crazy.
We'll have the latest on the very public breakup between Elon
Earlier this morning, the president was on the phone to journalists, making clear he does not want to talk to Musk.
Well, here's exactly what he said, quote, "I'm not even thinking about Elon. He's got a problem. The poor guy's got a problem."
You call the president on his cell phone at 6:45, he picks up.
Mr. Trump told ABC he's not interested in speaking to Musk, who he called
a man who has lost his mind.
Both men do have much to lose. When Donald Trump threatened to cancel government contracts worth billions with Musk's companies, he said he would decommission the only American space capsule that can reach the International Space Station, before backing off.
It's the bulls having their final round of seeing who's going to be the boss. It's a standard procedure for the last several thousand years among the leaders of countries, and it will fizzle out.
Remember this? When Donald Trump turned the White House into a car showroom just to help out his mate.
This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer.
Tesla sales had slumped since Musk had joined forces with him. The president even bought one himself, a car that he is now thinking of selling. And that really would be a mean blow when the Tesla share price has already tanked thanks to this very public spat.
The BBC's North America editor Sarah Smith reporting there. Well, Susanna Streeter, who is head of money and markets at Hargreaves Lansdown, told me how this row with President Trump has affected Elon Musk in terms of Tesla's share price.
We do know that Tesla's valuation dropped by some $150 billion. That was after shares slid by around 14%. Now, they did make up a little bit of ground yesterday, but only 3%. So in no way returning to the former valuation. So it's already costing Elon Musk. And the worry is that actually, given the depth of government contracts and subsidies that Tesla benefits from, a figure put at around 38 billion, there could potentially be considerable pain to come. That's partly why this valuation has already dropped to this extent, but it's not quite known exactly the full figure of the benefits that Tesla has from all these federal contracts. And the other thing to be aware of course, is that SpaceLink is home SpaceX. Well, they've got presence in around 100 countries, and it could become embroiled in these kind of tariff negotiations. I mean, Trump could demand countries not to do deals with Musk if this spat continues.
And in return, we know that the Trump presidency has a massive economic agenda. How could Elon Musk affect that?
Well, he's already been highly critical of this big spending bill which is going through Congress. Donald Trump has called it a beautiful bill, but as far as Elon Musk is concerned, he considers it to be pretty ugly because he believes it's really going to add to the US deficit. And so there is this war of words which has erupted really mainly due to that, because remember, of course, Musk was brought in to try and really trim or put a big dent into federal spending through the Department of Government Efficiency, the Doge department. In fact, he only managed to trim it by around 1%. So he left last week having not achieved those ambitions and then been highly critical of this spending bill, which Donald Trump has obviously reacted very strongly against.
Both men are always happy to take on their opponents, but they're also known to change their minds. Do you think that the impact of any financial losses could force a compromise between them?
I think it is very likely that this row will die down, but there could still be repercussions ahead for Tesla, given that it's already struggling in other areas. The head of its Optimus robot program has stepped down. We don't think it's directly affected, but EV sales are slowing. And there is likelihood and already signs that Musk is making more rapprochements towards Donald Trump. And then the markets expect that Donald Trump will also back down. There's this concept of the taco trade swirling. Trump always chickens out. We'll have to see what happens in this case.
Susanna Streeter from Hargreaves Lansdowne there. Well, Lucy Beresford is a relationship expert and psychotherapist. She's been assessing the public relationship between Donald Trump and Elon Musk and believes a fallout of some kind was inevitable.
I think what we've been recognising is how similar they are and how they have been able to relate to each other. They both had very difficult childhoods with extremely strong fathers. They, in a way, triumphed over their fathers by becoming very successful in their own right. And in that sense, they're both self-made men. So I think they identified in each other's wounds. They understood where they'd come from. And that can form an incredibly strong psychological bond. And so what you saw is two incredibly strong people really forging that alliance, which is why people talked about it as a bromance. But what people also said, almost from the very beginning, was that it was probably going to be very combustible and that people wouldn't be surprised if in fact it blew up. And this, of course, is now what has happened.
So where did it go wrong? Where did the relationship break down, do you think?
Well, I think it was always destined to fail because those egos were so large. You can only really have one big alpha male in the tribe, and it was a question of who was going to be the survivor of that. Now, in straightforward political terms, that is going to be Donald Trump, because he is arguably one of the most powerful men on the planet, as opposed to one of the most richest men on the planet. But at the same time, there is going to be a lot of tension. There's the fallout of this is probably going to have quite some, ripples and repercussions. And I think the key thing to remember is that it might not be over. Just because they've had this one breakup doesn't necessarily mean that there might be some kind of reconciliation before there is another almighty row, which will probably end the friendship for good.
The thoughts of the relationship expert Lucy Beresford there.